What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here for AEW Dynamite on Off the Script. It is Wednesday, November 6th, 2019, the go-home show for this Saturday's Full Gear pay-per-view, live on pay-per-view. This is actually the first go-home show for AEW since making their TV debut on TNT on October 2nd, and I was very curious to see what AEW would do in their first attempt at a go-home show, being that we have been so conditioned by WWE to kind of skip these go-home shows. We're left with an empty feeling after these go-home shows. They don't really build excitement or intrigue for the pay-per-views that same week, that same Sunday. Can't say the same thing about AEW. I think they did an admirable job tonight. I thought they built excitement. I thought they built intrigue. I thought they really built for the feuds that we all really are interested in on Saturday night. But at the end of the night, while looking back at the totality of the 2 hours since their debut on October 2nd, I think that they've been very consistent. I'm not saying that this show wasn't consistent. I'm not saying that this show wasn't good. But I'm going to go out there and honestly say I think this was the dullest, most unexciting episode of AEW Dynamite so far. Now, there are certain ways to do certain things. For example, if you guys are going to go to a bar and order a beer, you want your beer to be poured properly. Some people don't know how to pour a beer properly. It's all foamy. It tastes like shit. And then you end up complaining. You're going to get another beer. Hopefully it's a better one. It's not a better one. You complain again. The manager gets involved. He gives you another beer. It's poured properly. And then he gives you one on the house for the inconvenience. In comparison, you're going to go to a craft beer bar, you're going to get an expertly poured beer, you're going to get food pairings with that beer, and they're going to give you a great experience. Same thing could be said about a YouTube channel. You know, we don't clickbait, we don't really mess with the system here on YouTube, we go about doing things the right way. Then there is going about chasing clout, there's going about desperation on some channels. We don't go to meet and greets and berate Seth Rollins, even though we could very well do so and make a lot of money off of it. We're not going to go out there and meet Seth Rollins and troll him with pictures of himself scratched out that read, "The Fiend defeated you for the Universal Championship." We're also not going to go and make videos on Seth Rollins complaining why not enough dirt sheets picked up my shitty video. And then there is the go-home show for pro wrestling. We're all conditioned with AEW and WWE that the go-home shows should be important. WWE does them miserably. WWE doesn't build any excitement for them. WWE usually makes a mockery out of the go-home shows. They're more like the fans are in attendance and they can't wait to go home shows. But AEW, I thought, did a very, very good job. I thought the ending segment for tonight's show did a very, very good job. They included a lot of the feuds that you're going to be seeing on Saturday night. We got the Young Bucks and Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. They were in there. Moxley and Omega, Jericho and Cody. And then Jake Hager was in there. He was going one-on-one with MJF. That could be a potential match that has yet to be announced. I made a prediction on Tuesday's show that it could be Jake Hager and Darby Allin if they wanted to, because Darby Allin was the one who was fucked over by Jake Hager in that world title match with Chris Jericho. They got a lot of moving parts. We got Nick Jackson jumping off the entire stage, on the ramp, on the portion of the entranceway, on the tunnel pretty much, jumped off and took everybody out. It was hectic to close the show. It really built very nicely for the most important aspects of Full Gear on Saturday night. But the overall show, I would honestly say, was very dull compared to everything else that we've seen, and we're going to go over everything here tonight on the podcast. Thank you guys so very much for joining me right here on the show. I am JD. Let's get into it, man. Quickly, follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Live tweet with me every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. That's for Raw, AEW Dynamite. I was going to say NXT. I did not watch NXT, and I have not watched NXT on any given Wednesday while Dynamite was on. I will watch that tomorrow morning, but Raw, Dynamite, and Friday for SmackDown, which should be an absolutely god-awful show, being that Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns are main eventing. I can't wait to not watch Friday Night SmackDown. So you guys want to live tweet with me, please do so. I will be live on Twitter at JD from NY206. Also follow me on Instagram, same at. Make sure you guys check out all the other content that I put on the channel, man. There's a ton of it. And if you guys missed any part of it, it is linked down in the description of this very video. We got Monday Night Raw. We got Off the Script Elite number 6. We got Off the Script from this past weekend, documenting all the news and rumors in WWE coming out of Crown Jewel. And there's more yet to come this week with Dynamite NXT, Friday Night Smackdown. Going to be an awesome week. And then we got Off the Script, episode 299. We're one episode away from episode 300, man. Thank you guys so much for all the support. If you guys missed any of that stuff, link will be down in the description of this very video. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. We just hit 114,000 subscribers. And like I said, we've been here for 300 episodes of Off the Script and a ton of other content. We got close to 4,000 videos on the channel. And when I started this thing, man, I did not even think I would be at 114,000. It wasn't even a visual in my mind. And here we are. We're rapidly growing. We're one of the biggest podcasts in the entire wrestling community. Everybody knows about us in the YWC. And I want to thank you guys for all your support. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Spread the word of Off the Script. Also, if you guys want to support on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. We are here 7 days a week. And if you guys want to show some extra appreciation for all the effort that goes into all the content and all the hours of content that you guys get for free right here on the channel, Patreon is there for you guys to donate if you want. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And the podcast tonight is brought to you by my good friends over at Audible. Audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Audible is going to give you guys 30 days free of their service. And that includes one free audiobook of your choice. Now listen, now you got over 200,000 choices, but there's one particular audiobook that's coming out in a couple of weeks that I think you guys are going to enjoy. And you could actually get it for free right now by pre-ordering using our link, audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Mayor Kane, Glenn Jacobs, Mayor Kane, My Life in Pro Wrestling and Politics is coming out in a couple of weeks. The original price is going to be slated at $29.99. It is a 7-hour audio book narrated completely by Glenn Jacobs himself. If you guys are that big of a Kane fan, you can go and pre-order it right now with our link, audibletrial.com/Off the Script. And if you guys don't like that, don't give a shit about Kane, you guys got over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling and sports related. Best part is, if you guys want to sign up, get your free book, and you feel like Audible's not for you, you guys can cancel at any time and still get to keep your audiobook for free. Great deal, guys. It's a great way to support the show. audibletrial.com/Off the Script. Dynamite started off tonight with Trent, a.k.a. Trent Barreta, against Pac. One-on-one opening Dynamite tonight from the Bonganles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. This was an awesome match. This was really fucking awesome. The one thing that, outside the ending, the one thing that I did not understand outside the ending, which we'll get into in a little bit, was why Pac was in this 15-minute plus match. It's great, but a 15-minute plus match with Trent Barreta, who honestly, with Chucky T as the best friends, have been treated sometimes as a serious act and most times as a goofy comedy act that you would see on Monday Night Raw. They're like the Lucha House Party on AEW. Don't really understand that when Pac is being built to be serious and Trent Barreta is a comedy act. But Trent Barreta's a great fucking wrestler. And he brought it with Pac. I just didn't understand the logistics of this, but it ended up being, and I know I'm complaining for no reason, but I did think that, and I wasn't the only one that thought that. In the end, we got a great match. In the end, we got a great match out of it with a shit ending. And we'll go over that in a second. Excalibur mentioned that Pac was bothered by the imperfect record he has overall right now, which, in my eyes, could be a subtle clue as to what they do on Saturday night against Adam Page. So, we're going to keep a close eye on that one. So, like I said on Tuesday when we did Off the Script Elite, I'm going with Pac to beat Adam Page. I think there's more investment in Pac right now remaining undefeated. And I honestly think the story with Page is that he loses to Pac, and we see the downward spiral of Adam Page possibly getting more intense, probably getting more physical, maybe a heel turn out of it. Just something is missing with Adam Page that I don't know what it is. Don't know if they're going to go all the way with a heel turn, but we could see the beginning stages of a different Adam Hangman Page relatively soon. They were feeling each other out. Pac was annoyed by a "Pac, you suck" chant, which was awesome. Rolls to the outside, and Orange Cassidy actually stops Pac just by staring at him. That got a nice ovation by the North Carolina crowd, so you knew at that moment that Orange Cassidy was going to get involved. Back in the ring, Trent with a beautiful Northern Light suplex for a near fall. Pac then takes Trent to the outside, throws him into the barricade twice. More "Pac, you suck" chants from the North Carolina crowd. Pac takes Trent and throws him throat first over the barricade, smashes his head brutally on the steel ramp. Pac back in the ring now looking for a count out, but he says, "You know what, I'm too good to just stand here and wait around." He goes over the top with a twisting dive over the top rope to the outside where he landed on his feet. But there was no "Pac, you suck" chance after that one. So a missile dropkick, then back in the ring by Pac off the top rope. Trent kicks out at a 1, and then Pac keeps him grounded with some headlocks. A series of headlocks, actually. Back up, Irish whip. Trent does the Ric Flair in the corner where he flips over. Pac with a bridge, German suplex, 2 count. He keeps Trent grounded again. So more grounding here by Pac on Trent Barreta. Pac drops Trent again, crashing to the floor. Pac looks to fly, but Orange Cassidy, like I told you, got involved. He got in the ring to stop whatever Pac was doing. So Taylor, Chucky T, was on the outside, and I don't know for the life of me what he was doing. He was keeping the referee distracted. The referee looked like he was having some sort of seizure in the ring by telling Chucky T to get off the apron and stop interfering in the match. So Orange Cassidy is in the ring, and he hits Pac with the most undevastating super kicks that you will ever see. A series of super kicks, and then he goes for the big super kick, and the crowd is going crazy. I laugh because I think this is hilarious. A lot of people don't like it. Go fuck yourself. He looks for a super kick and eats a huge kick from Pac in the face, and then Pac kicks him out of the ring like he's a piece of trash. Trent back in the ring, lariat, half and half suplex. Pac rolls to the floor. Trent with a front flip over the top, taking Pac out. He landed on his feet. Trent Barreta is awesome. Trent throws Pac into the barricade, followed by a spear on the outside, back in the ring. Running knee to the back of Pac's head. Cover only a 2 count. Lariat then. Flip Pac's over. Swinging DDT. Pac sold the shit out of that DDT. 2 count only. Back on the outside now. Pac with a devastating brainbuster on the concrete. Or the pads. I used to call it concrete. I don't know why. On the pads, on the outside. Trent back in the ring. Goes up top. Black arrow. 1, 2, 3. Crowd chanted 3. Referee didn't hit the 3 count. Now, the referee intentionally stopped the count. Trent did not kick out. With the referee stopping this count, I rewinded this 3 or 4 different times, and I said to myself, watching this alone, what the fuck is going on? I rewinded this 2 or 3, 4 different times, and Trent did not kick out. I had cretins on social media. Oh, Trent kicked out. No, he didn't. Trent did not kick out. Nowhere near a kick out. Pac then applies the Brutalizer submission, which is the Rings of Saturn. And that's it. Referee stops the match and Pac wins. Again, people telling me on social media Trent kicked out. He was completely motionless. So, that was the end of the match. Now listen, I get it. I get the fact that AEW wants to sell the Brutalizer, which is Pac's finishing move, his second finishing move. It's a secondary finishing move. It's his submission move. I get you want to sell the submission move before the pay-per-view. But when Pac hits a black arrow like he did tonight on Trent Barreta, and the referee is intentionally stopping the count only for him to apply the Brutalizer, it looks like shit. It looks like shit. Next time, again, shit like this should not be a work in progress. They should have this shit nailed down. Next time that happens, I don't know if the referee's wearing an earpiece. I don't know if they're as programmed as WWE officials. I don't know if Tony Khan or Cody or the Bucks are in the referee's ear. If they are, next time something like this happens, the referee needs to count the 3 count. Because that looked like complete garbage. They have to call it as a shoot. Fuck this shit. Fuck the plan ending. What is the Brutalizer on Trent Barreta going to do for the pay-per-view match against Adam Page? We just seen Pac beat Omega with the Brutalizer. You can't get more over with that submission move than that. You got to get it over on Trent Barreta? It looked like shit. It took away from what was a great match to open Dynamite. You got to do better than that. I understand you want to sell the finishing move, but when you hit a black arrow like that and the referee, we all see, intentionally stops his count, I can't get behind that, bro. That was a complete fucking disaster. It looked terrible. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, before this show, promised a career announcement. Didn't know what it was going to be. I predicted that. I don't know what I predicted. I don't even think I predicted anything. People were telling me, JD, he could possibly be bringing back the Rhodes family name. I'm like, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. People were saying maybe he's going to retire. I'm like, I don't know. Cody Rhodes retiring already. I think there's a lot more for Cody to do, and maybe he wants to retire. Maybe he is just in this thing to get talent over and get the company over and then take a backseat and learn the ins and outs of being in the gorilla position. So Cody comes out, he makes his ring entrance. Shivani is in the ring. He interviewed him in the middle of the ring. Shivani said Charlotte is one of pro wrestling's great cities and the birthplace of Cody. Cody said that they're not surprised that the arrival of Chris Jericho in the Inner Circle has been blunt and strategic. He said they have taken a scalpel to the elite. He said they've been looking for them at the start. He said they've been looking for names they could put their name on a card against. He listed himself, Matt and Nick Jackson, Kenny Omega, Dustin Rhodes. Fans were chanting AEW during this segment. He said Saturday he finds himself on the marquee with our world champion, Chris Jericho. Cody then asked fans to indulge him as he rattled off some names here. Eddie Graham, Cowboy Bill Watts, The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, which obviously, being that he is Cody's father, got a loud, Dusty chant inside the Bonganles Coliseum. He said they were all titans in this business, both bell to bell and at the box office. He said those who saw them in person have memories that reverberate in their heart. He said there's an air of controversy that surrounds some of them. He said in addition to being competitors, they were management, not unlike myself. He then went on to say that everyone says how proud Cody is of AEW and the all-inclusive nature of the schedule, and that they listen. This is Ellis Island for a professional wrestler. This is freedom. They cut to fans standing and cheering. Loud AEW chants at this point. He said when he hears the same criticism of being in management and in a title match, I cannot unhear it. He said, with that said, he is announcing that if he does not defeat Chris Jericho and win the AEW World Championship at Full Gear, first of all, before he even said what he had to say, chance of you deserve it. Everybody loves Cody. Everybody loves Cody. This guy is a fucking god to these people. Said if he doesn't win the title Saturday, he doesn't beat Chris Jericho on Saturday, he will never challenge for the AEW title again. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, that really isn't a retirement, but it's semi-retirement. It is a semi-retirement statement by Cody Rhodes. It could be that if he doesn't want to go after the World Championship, he's more in the mindset of putting others over. Like Darby Allin, like Dustin Rhodes that he did, like Shawn Spears, like an MJF that everybody's being, rumoring out there. He wants to take a step back. He wants to put others over, and he wants to see the growth. And he wants to be in the driver's seat of how AEW succeeds. And I can't sit here and tell Cody that I don't commend that, because I do. I think that's fucking awesome. I really think that's great. Putting the company and everybody else that he is employing first before himself. There's no way you can disrespect that. So he says if he doesn't win Saturday, he will never challenge for the AEW title again. He shifted to what Jericho said about him and their fans. He called Jericho a self-entitled millennial bitch. Quote for quote. That's what he said. He then went on to make fun of Jericho's book being available for $3 on Amazon or at flea markets. You could get it on Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript, cheap plug there. If you guys prefer the audiobook, which I don't know why you wouldn't. He then said he neglected to read about the upbringing he had because it was so hard. He talked about my silver spoon. Man, it must have been so difficult being the upper-class son of a famous hockey player. It's almost as if we shared the same exact silver spoon. You stupid dick. At this point, ears up, eyeballs up. Everybody's got the attention on Cody Rhodes. So, Cody said Jericho dismissed every accomplishment he made. Said Jericho is a carny succubus. That's a new one. You don't hear the word succubus being thrown around. There's some succubuses in the fucking community, but you never see a professional wrestler use that term, succubus. He said Jericho needs this generation more than it needs him. Which, you know what? I don't want to sit here and really say that was a shoot, but quite honestly it is. You know, Jericho doesn't even need to be wrestling. He doesn't. Jericho is a Hall of Famer through and through, one of the greatest to ever lace up the boots. But Jericho, honestly, AEW needs Jericho. I don't think the entire wrestling business needs Jericho. AEW needs Jericho. I don't know how long they need Jericho for. It may be for the duration of 3 years. I don't know. I hope not. I hope that in some point they end up getting someone as over as Chris Jericho. That's why he's the world champion right now, to guide them to success. I would honestly say that's a shoot. I think Jericho needs this generation more than this generation needs Jericho. So he surrounded himself with everybody that is big right now in this current generation, aka the inner circle. He said this isn't about his dad, and he said it's about the living and not the dead. His mother, wife, and the 14 years it took him to go from undesirable to underdog and undeniable. His voice cracked as he said that, and he took a deep breath, and he uttered one final statement. He said, "A Full Gear, I am going to beat Jericho and become the AEW World Champion." He said, "The Elite are coming, and we are going to eat you alive." The passion and the direct nature of this promo on Dynamite, I watched, I listened, and immediately I came up with a statement, and everybody seemingly agreed with me on social media. Cody Rhodes cuts the best wrestling promo on TV this year in 2019. It's unbelievable how AEW, before Dynamite even aired on TNT, the direction they wanted to go with promos. I seen Meltzer tweeting out to some fucking goon in the comment sections on Twitter. Some idiot replied to Dave Meltzer talking about the promo, how great it was. What'd you think of it? You know, obviously me and Brian, you know what we're going to say about it. Blah, blah, blah. There was some idiot in the comments, in the thread, saying, how many writers did it take Cody Rhodes to come up with that promo? Prick. Zero. Unlike WWE, that has 7 or 8 different fucking producers telling them how to say this and where to say that and how to fucking deliver it, how to deliver this, how to deliver that. They couldn't even deliver a fucking letter to the mailbox these people couldn't deliver. Cody Rhodes needed 0 writers or 0 producers to cut that promo. That all came from the heart. Cody Rhodes wrote that out himself. He went out there and delivered it, and he delivered the best wrestling promo of 2019. This was absolutely wrestling gold tonight. That is the way it's supposed to be done. And when all is said and done, at the end of this guy's career, Cody Rhodes is a legitimate fucking legend in this business. I mean that wholeheartedly. And I don't think he's anywhere close to being done. But like I said, he may want to take several steps back and just right this ship on AEW with Dynamite and see the success of this company, which I don't mind at all. He is unbelievable in this type of role. This match with Jericho is going to be a home run just based off the work that they've done promo-wise alone. Cody Rhodes already has a perfect record as far as storytelling in the ring with who he's been in the ring with. His brother, Shawn Spears, Darby Allin. And everybody's predicting that MJF is going to turn on Cody. He's probably going to do wonders for MJF as well. No different with Chris Jericho. This is going to be emotional. This is going to be great. Everybody's going to eat this shit up. I don't think Cody's going to win, But I can't wait to see what they do, and I can't wait to see the conclusion of what happens in this match. I said it on Tuesday. I honestly think MJF, and we seen him at the end, that was just a red herring. That was just an inclusion of MJF to pretty much tell everybody, oh, he's on Cody's side. I honestly think that MJF is going to end up turning on Cody, and the reason why Cody doesn't go after the world title anymore is because MJF somehow is jealous of Cody Rhodes. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. So we'll see. Maybe I heard somebody on my comment section, I read on my comment section, and I don't know who you are, but I read the comment on Tuesday's podcast. Marty Scurll's contract is up this month. I don't think he's re-signing with Ring of Honor. It makes no sense business-wise to sign with Ring of Honor. Maybe Marty Scurll comes on in and MJF joins the Inner Circle, and as a retaliation, we get Marty Scurll coming on in to back Cody Rhodes in this feud with the Inner Circle. I don't know. I think that could be another way, but I honestly think MJF is going to get involved because the teases have been there. Outside of that, we'll wait till Saturday for that. This was the best wrestling promo in the business for 2019. This was absolutely phenomenal. I got legitimate chills watching this promo. Unbelievable by Cody Rhodes. Dark Order versus Private Party. I loved this concept. Match was awesome. I loved this concept. Now, SCU and the Lucha Brothers were the finals of the tag team tournament to crown the first ever AEW tag team champions. Private Party, they were the ones who lost to the Lucha Brothers. SCU, they beat the Dark Order. Thus, we got the Lucha Brothers versus SCU in the finals. So you're going to take the two losers in the semifinals, you're going to pair them up, and AEW, what they're doing is they're handing out medals. They got the gold, they got the silver, and then they got the bronze. Bronze medal, triple threat AEW tag team title match at Full Gear. Fucking brilliant. Takes the two semifinal losers, pairs them up in one match. The winner of that match advances to the triple threat match at the pay-per-view. Simple booking. It's consistent, it's logical, it makes sense. Now, we all thought the tag team titles were going to be defended anyway. We all thought that it was going to be SCU and the Lucha Brothers. Now we're getting a triple threat match, which adds to the chaos, which adds to the match being all that more better. And we got Private Party now added to this thing. Triple threat match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. This was great. This was vastly different than what we got with Private Party and the Lucha Brothers. In fact, this was awesome. This was a much better match than what I seen with Private Party and the Lucha Brothers in the semifinals. Mark Quinn started out being double teamed early by Stu Grayson. They were both very physical, but Private Party fought back with the double team camel clutch, double stomp by Mark Quinn. Dark Order retreats to the outside, and they started to hide behind their minions on the outside. Dark Order takes advantage again, working over Isaiah Cassidy. He's on the apron, and Stu Grayson with a slingshot senton over the top to the outside on the apron on top of Isaiah Cassidy. Looked sick. We then go to commercial. Back from commercial, Evil Uno is still working over Isaiah Cassidy. Tries to go for a tag, and it was not as bad as Charlotte Flair on Monday. Cassidy stopped the momentum with a suplex. Did you guys see that clip on Twitter? I don't know what I was watching. I probably zoned out when I was watching this thing. It's all over social media. Charlotte Flair legitimately went for a tag on Natalya, and she was there. No one was even behind her. She was within a fucking pinky of a distance, and she didn't make the tag. And then overcomes Kairi Sane or Asuka, I don't remember which one, and they stopped the tag. It looked absolutely hideous, and I couldn't help but laugh. It wasn't as bad as that, but it still looked kind of bad. Cassidy stops the momentum with a suplex. He tags in Mark Quinn. Quinn stopped him immediately. Grayson with a leg drop off the top. 2 count only. Quinn fights back. Quinn drops Uno, rolls to the floor. Quinn with a over-the-top senton, lands on his feet, goes into the crowd to celebrate. Takes out both Uno and Grayson. He throws Grayson back in the ring. Clothesline kick. Quinn gets sent to the apron. Springboard crossbody back into the ring. Only a 2 count on the cover. Uno and Cassidy in the ring. Uno drops Cassidy over his knee. I don't know what it was. It looked like a one-winged angel or a modified one-winged angel, but instead of slamming him on that, he slammed him on his knee. So Quen breaks up that pin by Evil Uno. Grayson with his get over here as Evil Uno kicked Quen into Grayson, who back suplexed over the top, or overhead suplex Quen into Cassidy, who was laying in the corner. Grayson off the top on Quen with a 450. Evil Uno then jumps over both Grayson and Quen with a senton on Cassidy, who was still laying in the corner. Grayson lifts Quen on his shoulders. Quen leapt off, hits a Hurricanrana, sending Uno into Grayson. Cassidy springboards in, gets dropped. Grayson is up top on the top turnbuckle. Cassidy hits the silly string DDT on Evil Uno. Grayson was up top, dazed. Quen and Cassidy hit gin and juice, and that was it. Private Party is now added to the triple threat match at Full Gear. It should be awesome. Chris Jericho had a mock video package of Cody. If you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, Cody had Diamond Dallas Page, and Cody had Tony Schiavone, and I think his wife in this video package. It was a very serious video package. Cody didn't say anything outside a couple of words to Brandy Rhodes in the beginning of that video package. It was very serious. They showed Cody training, and it was just spoken in a way for all of Cody's friends and family to hype him up and tell everybody how important this match was to Cody Rhodes. So Jericho obviously went about mocking this video package and made his own video package, just shitting all over Cody. Sammy Guevara came out and suggested that there is two different kinds of bubbly for Chris Jericho. He seemed like he didn't give a shit. He was just daydreaming. One was a little bit better taste, and the other one was of a lower calorie count. So Jericho was like, that sounds great. He goes over and kisses Sammy Guevara on the head, and Sammy's just, whatever. He's just standing there with the two bottles of bubbly. Jericho was sitting there. He walks away. Guevara said Jericho is like a father figure to him. They showed Jericho in a bubble bath, which looked like a cheap hotel room. In a bubble bath, he was wearing swim trunks. Candles lit everywhere. Bubble bath in his wrestling gear, sipping bubbly out of a bottle. So we got Virgil. Yes, Virgil. That Virgil. The $1 Million Man Virgil from the 1980s. He called himself Soul Train Jones in this video. And he talked about how he's known Jericho since he was 12. I guess he's playing the role of DDP in this video. He was as driven back then as he is right now. So then we see Santana. Santana of Proud and Powerful said no one works harder than Jericho. Ortiz said Guevara doesn't even have a chest hair. Then we seen a woman who was playing Jericho's aunt's friend from church. Aunt, I say aunt. Go fuck yourself. Jericho's aunt's friend from church, saying he knew when Christopher was a young boy that he'd grow up to be an AEW World Champion. Then she said that she hopes Jericho survives. Guevara then said at the age of 48, Jericho's the youngest AEW champion in the history and in the prime of his life. They showed Jake Hager. He made some funny face. He stood all serious. He didn't say a word. They showed Jericho working out. The old lady came back and she knows Jericho's going to beat the shit. This is what she said, legitimately. Jericho's going to beat the shit out of Cody at Full Gear. Hager, another shot of Hager. He was taking a deep breath. He was standing in front of a brick wall. Virgil, Soul Train Jones, had a shoot line here, folks, because I interviewed Shane Douglas back during Extreme Rules a couple years ago. And Virgil, last year it was, Virgil said Jericho is like the Olive Garden breadsticks, unlimited. Now, Virgil crashed the party. Before I went to Extreme Rules. He was there. He was having a good time. He was selling photos for like $40. And he mentioned something about the Olive Garden breadsticks. He loves the Olive Garden. So him including that in this promo, that's a shoot, brother. That is a shoot by Soul Train Jones in this video package. Jericho said Cody has management meetings out on November 9th, and all he has to do is sip a little bit of the bubbly. Jericho said it's a lot of responsibility, but one he has to face because I am the champion. And that's the way the video package ended. Obviously a way to mock Cody, which was done in humor. AEW certainly has to be careful with these types of things. Sometimes this actually has the opposite effect. This is something that, now everybody knows Jericho is a heel. I don't think these fans are stupid. Everything that this crowd is watching, there are people that are so immensely invested in everything that AEW does. But they got to be careful because something like this, as comedic as it came off, it could honestly turn Jericho into a babyface. And right now, he is the biggest heel in all of AEW. Or at least trying to be. But with shit like this, I mean, there's no way you could honestly boo Chris Jericho. This was funny, this was awesome, and it was a great build for the match against Cody, done in a very Chris Jericho-like fashion. The kryptonite of AEW is their women's division. Now, we had a tag team match with the women's champion, Riho, and Shawn. Shawn was in a match last week against Hikaru Shida, which was awesome. Riho and Shawn versus Emi Sakura and Jamie Hayter. Now, if this match was just Shawn and Jamie Hayter, I think this would have been awesome. This match went way too long. I am not invested in any of these women yet, but more of Jamie Hayter, please, and more of Shawn. I think they're both great, and they definitely have massive upside. I just cannot get into Riho. I cannot get into Riho. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I can't get into Emi Sakura either. Hikaru Shida looked great last week. She is the one standout out of these Joshi wrestlers so far. But this match went way too long. I don't know what the purpose of it was. They seemingly wanted to build some sort of intrigue going into the pay-per-view on Saturday on 2 days' notice with the women, and I don't really think it did anything. The fans loved it in North Carolina. I just don't think the women's division right now is all that exciting in AEW. I mentioned to my buddy Jesse, watching this, it wasn't bad. I just don't give a shit completely. AEW needs Tessa Blanchard. They need Tessa Blanchard to have her contract be up. They got to throw this woman as much money as they can. Whatever WWE's initial offer is, fucking triple it. Get this woman in. They need a legitimate fucking powerhouse to build this division around. There's nobody on this roster right now that I've seen on TV that is going to be that woman. They need Tessa Blanchard. If they don't make a full 100% effort to get that woman in AEW, I don't know what to tell you. So this one went way too long. We're going to skip towards the middle of the match here. Hayter and Sakura were using quick tags and they were working over Rio. Sakura used a Romero special. Hayter used a camel clutch, hit some stomps and some big right hands. Hayter hit a slam, then used a chin lock to ground Riho. Rio came back with a head scissors on Hayter. Double stomp to Sakura. Shawn got a hot tag, running forearm on Hayter. Hayter came back with a backbreaker over her knee. Shawn crawled to her corner to attempt the tag, but Hayter pulled Rio off the apron. Shawn hit a crossbody off the top rope, wiping both Hayter and Sakura out. Shawn hit a sliced bread, then used Angel's Wings for a near fall on Sakura. Hayter and Sakura cut off Shawn. Hayter hit a Shining Wizard for a 2 count. Then she hits 2 lariats, made a cover. Rio made the save. Sakura hit Shawn with an underhook backbreaker cover. Rio saved the day with a double stomp off the top rope. Rio then got the tag. Tag in, and she goes right after Sakura. They trade cradles for near falls. Sakura used a cradle for a pinfall on Rio. Rio was shocked when she was pinned. I think this is Rio's first... I could be mistaken. This is Rio's first loss here in AEW. So we got the challenger for the title beating the champion on TV, and they will go one-on-one. Emi Sakura and Riho. Student versus teacher at Full Gear. They did this, and they did this outcome to just add another layer on top of why the match is happening. Because I think a lot of people are probably going to be wondering, well, how did she get the title match? Why is she getting the title match? Has she done anything to get the title match at all since AEW's been on TV? The answer is no. So they had Emi Sakura beat Riho here, and then we got the title match on Full Gear. Now, they also did announce another women's match on Full Gear Saturday night for the buy-in pre-show, which I honestly think should be on the main show. Britt Baker versus Bea Priestley. That's going to be on the pre-show. That should be on the main show of Full Gear. I hate the fact that Bea Priestley is on the buy-in pre-show. I don't like it. Should be on the main show. Brandon Cutler versus Shawn Spears. This was a squash. Nothing more than a squash. They showed clips of Spears trying to take Joey Janela's tongue out of his mouth with a pair of pliers on AEW Dark. So the match started off, traded wrist locks, Spears hit a clothesline. Cutler hit a high kick, slingshot senton over the top to the apron. Spears cut him off, sent him into the barricade. Spears then hit a running knee against the barricade on Brandon Cutler. Back inside, Spears was chopping Brandon Cutler. Cutler came back with a series of kicks. Spears hit a pump kick, used a Death Valley driver for the victory here and the pinfall. Spears then was teasing a Death Valley driver again on a chair. Now, we had Tully Blanchard on the outside. He slid a chair in the ring. Spears teased a Death Valley driver on the chair on Brandon Cutler. Out comes Joey Janela. He ran in to make the save for Cutler. Spears then backed off. Joey Janela versus Spears could be in the works. Don't know if it's going to be on the pay-per-view. I honestly would not put it on the pay-per-view. I would keep the pay-per-view a minimum of 7 matches. That's it. Or maximum, I should say, of 7 matches. I would not add this match. I would not add it to the pre-show. I would save this match for TV going on into the next week, to be honest with you. I would save this for TNT on the next couple of weeks of TV. That's what I would do. I would wait, and it seems like a match that would be better off suited for TV than on the Full Gear pay-per-view or the pre-show on the pay-per-view. So save it. Omega versus Moxley. We had a video package highlighting their match, their non-sanctioned match at Full Gear, which I predicted will be the main event of Full Gear Saturday night. It makes sense. And if AEW wants to follow consistency and logic, that's exactly what they'll do. I wouldn't even use an AEW official. I would go out and get a Maryland Athletic Commission official to referee this match because Tony Khan said that AEW will not be approving this match. Put it on last and don't have any of your contracted employees referee this match. Simple. You want to build it to be legit? Then that's the way you got to do it. Main event, and don't have anything in AEW or anyone in AEW be associated with what they're going to do. Chaos is going to happen with Moxley and Omega. So it included snippets of Moxley's promo last week, which was great. Omega said Moxley shouldn't act surprised. The match is unsanctioned. What did you think we were going to do? Chain wrestle? Then they showed past brawls that the two had this summer, and we seen shots of Double or Nothing. We seen the table spot, the glass table spot, where Moxley DDT'd Omega through the glass table. Omega said his best work was never when he was handed anything. It was because he had to sacrifice something. They showed footage of Moxley in a hospital with his elbow taped up, meaning or throwing the reference to his staph infection. Doctor came over, he shoved the doctor away. He ripped off the bandages, so he's ready to go now. They showed vintage clips of Moxley in a barbed wire match from his early career, CZW days, backyard wrestling days. Omega said he's glad that they're going to a dark place. And you know what, Moxley? I can't wait to see you there. That's exactly what he said, and that's the way they closed this video package. Very nicely done. I'm excited to see what they do and the carnage that we see on pay-per-view with Jon Moxley in his first pay-per-view match. If you guys want my full predictions on what I think is going to happen at the pay-per-view, Off the Script Elite, uploaded on Tuesday. The link will be down in the description of this very video. It should be the first thing that you see down below. Main event, Adam Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, teaming against Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Now, a lot of people were like, man, this doesn't make any sense. This match doesn't make any sense. Why is AEW doing this match in the main event? Well, I put it in my notes. It certainly does make sense. Let me reiterate it again for you. They didn't just do this for any reason. They didn't take fucking names out of a hat randomly. They didn't throw darts at the fucking wall and pair these 4 guys randomly. Kenny and Page have a history with Jericho. And in this match, Sammy was chosen by Jericho to be his tag team partner. Obviously, Sammy wants to impress Chris Jericho because Jericho thinks so highly of Sammy Guevara. And he obviously wants to impress Chris Jericho on why he should definitely be a part of the Inner Circle. Kenny is on this team with Adam Hangman Page. If he would have won here tonight, then he would obviously add a victory to his record. And then if he beat Moxley, even though it's a non-sanctioned match, people are going to look at that as a victory anyway. That adds claim to him being the next in line for an AEW World Championship match. So yes, it does make sense because you got to dig back into the previous bags of AEW shows. It all makes sense. All of these guys have a prior history with one another. There you go. Guevara and Omega started off. Omega demanded Jericho to tag in. Clearly, he tagged in, and then, like the heel that he is, tagged right out. Omega and Guevara traded wrist locks. Omega hit a series of chops. Sammy, with all the chops that he took in this match, his chest was all cut up. It was very nice. Very nice. So, he definitely earned his paycheck tonight. We had Omega chopping Guevara, back suplex, tagged in Page. Omega hit a knee. Page connected with a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. Page hit a bridging fall-away slam for a 2 count. Guevara was getting beat up at this point. Jericho, no motion to make a tag whatsoever. It was like tough love for Sammy Guevara in this match, in the tag team match with his partner being Chris Jericho. So Guevara managed to get away, hit a kick. Then he managed to tag in Jericho. Jericho hit a missile dropkick off the middle rope. Used some ground and pound strikes. Jericho and Guevara used quick tags here working on Page. Page hit a clothesline on Jericho. Omega and Guevara tagged in again. Omega hit a double sledgehammer to the chest for a 2 count. Omega hit the you can't escape for 2. Omega then tried a suplex, but Guevara landed on his feet. Guevara hit 2 back-to-back enziguris. Omega kicked Guevara out of midair on a springboard crossbody, which looked great. Jericho tried to cut Omega off before his rise of the Terminator. Omega sent him to the outside, teased a dive on both Guevara and Jericho, but Jake Hager came out of nowhere on the apron, hit Omega, and then we go to commercial break. Guevara, Jericho worked Omega during the commercial. Omega got a near fall of a backslide, and that was about it for his offense in this particular sequence. Guevara choked Omega with the top rope. Page got the hot tag eventually, hit a fall-away slam on Jericho, hit a plancha on Guevara. Page teased an Alabama slam, but Jericho blocked it. Jericho went for the walls. Page blocked that. Omega threw Guevara over the top rope. Hager caught him. Omega then hit a dive on both Guevara and Hager. He got the rise of the Terminator eventually, and that's where he hit it. Page then hit a moonsault, his patented moonsault off the top, and he took everybody out down below. Pac then runs down, being that he is going one-on-one with Adam Page at the pay-per-view on Saturday. Hits a low blow on Omega. Now, Aubrey Edwards had the referee distracted. So Jericho then sees this. It goes down. Pac low blows Omega. Jericho hits the Judas effect on Page and then pinned Adam Page to win the match. After the match, the Inner Circle had a Wolf Pack-like beatdown on Page. Cody ran down. Crowd went crazy. Cody hit an uppercut on Guevara. Jericho and Hager backed up the ramp. MJF came out with a steel chair. He dropped Hager with the chair. Chased Jericho with the chair after hitting him in the gut with the steel chair. Cody hit crossroads on Jericho because he retreated back to the ring. He posed with the AEW Championship. Moxley, you can see where this is going. It's all fucking chaos right now to close Dynamite. Moxley came in through the crowd with a barbed wire baseball bat, ushered the fans to get away. He was led by security. Jericho used a distraction from Moxley to go after Cody. Cody and Jericho, Hager, and MJF all brawled to the back. Omega and Moxley then squared off in the ring. Moxley with his barbed wire baseball bat and Omega with his barbed wire broom because he's the cleaner. And then we had Santana and Ortiz run down and attack both Moxley and Omega. They didn't give a shit what was going on. Everybody else was brawling. They were like, you know what? Let's get these guys out of here. Young Bucks then came down and attacked Santana and Ortiz. Bucks hit suicide dives, super kicks, and they took up the Proud and Powerful up the ramp. So then we see Santana and Ortiz teasing a powerbomb off the stage on Matt Jackson. Omega and Moxley make the save. Omega hits a V-trigger. Moxley hits a paradigm shift on both Santana and Ortiz. So they brawl to the back. No cameras followed Omega and Moxley to the back. Sheer chaos. Everyone here in this entire melee continued to brawl. Omega and Moxley brawled to the back, like I said. The Elite and the Inner Circle continued to brawl. And we see Nick Jackson jump off the fucking staging, off the fucking tunnel. He jumps up off the fucking tunnel, takes everybody out, and everybody's going crazy. And that's the way Dynamite goes off the air. It is stereotypical WWE way to close the show, but it was much more exciting. It made sense. We got certain individual builds for everything that's happening at the pay-per-view, with all the big matches happening at the pay-per-view. I thought it was fun. It did resemble a WWE Melee at the end of the show, but they did it a lot better because WWE, we are so programmed to say, oh, it's the go-home show. Let's see if they do anything, and this is what they do. WWE would have even given away 2 or 3 matches on the pay-per-view on a Raw or Smackdown episode before the pay-per-view, because that's what they do. We're programmed to think that way. AEW didn't give anything away here. AEW made fun. They made it feel fun, I should say, of the entire pay-per-view. And it was chaos, and that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to see the volcanic eruption happening on Saturday's pay-per-view. Everything's going to be boiling over. And I thought this was fun. The overall show of Dynamite tonight was good. The flow was good. The time management was a lot better. And everything that they're doing and correcting from previous shows is showing. Time management was right. The flow was right. The crowd was awesome. I just think in comparison, because we loved last week's show. We loved the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. I think as far as the go-home show, they didn't really have anything else to do. They did all that they could possibly do tonight, and it kind of came off a little less exciting than what we've seen so far. But I honestly think with this week, going into the pay-per-view is going to be awesome. And I think going into next week with the follow-up is where we're going to get right back on track and have those really great shows. This was good enough for a go-home show. It delivered. It delivered the intrigue. It delivered the excitement. It was just, in comparison, duller or more dull compared to what we've seen so far on TNT. But they did a good job. I really enjoyed myself tonight for the 2 hours. Now I got NXT to watch, and we'll see what happens because we are building towards War Games on NXT. And obviously, with War Games, we're not only getting 1, but we're getting 2 War Games matches, which we'll talk about tomorrow on the podcast. So make sure you guys join me for NXT on the podcast tomorrow, right here on Thursday on the channel. And I will see you guys then, man. Thank you guys so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I will see you guys right back here for NXT. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Check the description for all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Patreon.com/offthescript. Or JD from NY206 is all down below. I'm exhausted. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow morning for NXT.